I fondly remember the opening of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai back in 2010. I was standing on the street in my finest clothes, cranking my neck up to see the very top of the building. It was absolutely mind-blowing to see such a massive skyscraper. What was even more mind-blowing were the after-parties. I've said this before, but Dubai is a city that knows how to eat and how to party. Why, there's one time a sheik and I were out on a... before I get a little too carried away, where was I? Party, sheiks? Yes, the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is a spectacle. A building so tall, many people thought it would be impossible to build. But what if I told you there was going to be a building even taller? Much, much taller. Today, we're going to take a look at what will soon be the tallest building in the world. As I said, a lot of people didn't think it would even be possible for the Burj Khalifa to be built. Why would anyone need a building that's nearly 3,000 feet tall in the first place? If you need to turn your economy around, it seems fancying up some hunks of steel and concrete can really make that happen. For a long time, Dubai wasn't the yacht-sailing, nightclub-hopping city of luxury that it is today. The UAE made its money in oil, just in case you weren't paying attention in any history classes. Looking to expand their tourism and make revenue with foreign visitors rather than oil fields, Dubai set out with a plan that had the Burj Khalifa as its centerpiece. They would build hotels, parklands, and recreational lakes to entertain tourists, and put the Burj Khalifa in the middle as the biggest draw. The company paid $1.5 billion to build the Burj Khalifa, hiring Skidmore, Owings, and Merrill out of the United States to design the building. Its unique design was inspired by traditional Islamic architecture, just at, 20 times the size. The construction took 110 tons of concrete, which is about 220 million pounds. For reference, that's about the weight of 2,000 blue whales. Construction started in 2004, and the building wasn't open until that beautiful ceremony in 2010. Standing at 2,716.5 feet tall, it isn't hard to imagine why it took so long to build. Its height is 8 times the size of the Statue of Liberty. So tall, in fact, that you could stack the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Eiffel Tower, and the Empire State Building on top of each other, and the Burj Khalifa would still be taller. So how on earth is some new building going to be taller than that? With a lot of innovation, concrete, glass, and money. In Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the Jeddah Tower is estimated to be at least 3,281 feet tall. That's 500 feet taller than the Burj Khalifa. If the Twin Towers were still standing, the Jeddah Tower would be taller than them stacked on top of each other. If you want to get even more creative, it would take more than 670 Danny DeVitos standing on each other's shoulders to reach the top of the Jeddah Tower. Not sure how well that balancing act would go, however, but if you could figure out how to clone Danny DeVito, give me a call. The Jeddah Tower is being designed by the same people who designed the Burj Khalifa, with the same head designer, Adrian Smith. Luckily, they learned a lot from designing the Burj Khalifa that they're able to put to use making something bigger and better. The Burj Khalifa is known for swaying in either direction about 6 feet in the wind, partially due to the stepped design of the exterior. The Jeddah Tower, on the other hand, is going to be built with smooth, sloped edges, which will allow for wind to blow around it more effectively. If you've ever stood in a penthouse that sways and creaks in the wind, well, you know how important it is to have one that feels a bit more stable. No one likes getting motion sickness sitting on their couch, that's for sure. That being said, blowing in the wind isn't the only problem building a 3,000-foot tall skyscraper comes with. Elevators have to ascend slowly because the quick increase in height and pressure can cause nausea in riders. And let's be real, no one wants to puke in an elevator on their way to the club. Additionally, the elevators aren't capable of reaching all the way to the top of Jeddah Tower. There will be several transfer floors called sky lobbies for guests to switch up to the next elevator. I never imagined there would be a place where there are red and blue lines for elevators, but the Jeddah Tower continues to surprise. The building is expected to have at least 200 floors, compared to the Burj Khalifa's 160 floors. It's expected to have 59 elevators, beating out the Burj Khalifa's by just 2 elevators. But what about the cost? Well, it's expected to ring in at $1.23 billion US. However, if a building of this magnitude was to be built in the United States, it would be much more than that. Saudi Arabia has the cheapest construction in the Middle East, about 34% cheaper on average than the UAE, which is part of the reason it'll be cheaper to construct than the Burj Khalifa. There's no word on how much the materials will cost. However, Saudi Water Company just landed the contract to provide water to the building when it's up and running. They've agreed to provide 156,000 cubic meters of water per day, which is about the size of 62 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So, what's going to be in the 3,000-foot-tall skyscraper? As of now, it looks like there will be several offices, luxury apartments, hotels, and even a shopping mall at its base. So, there you have it, what will soon be the tallest building in the world. What do you think?